Hot fixes all across the board. Ian Hazakostas doing an interview with PC Mag, I believe, talking more about the removal of add-ons and the future of letting add-ons back in, maybe, maybe not. Also, a few other hot fixes when it comes to classes and a change of philosophy again when it comes to Transmog. Let's just jump straight in. We'll talk a little bit more about that. New Lunar Festival shop promotion. Before we get into all that hardcore news, this Lunar Festival stuff looks really cool. If you haven't seen this yet, this was recently data mined. So new Lunar Festival stuff coming in. The Lunar Festival event is set to start on February 16th and run through March 2nd. So this will be, the typical Lunar Festival event in the game, and a lot of really cool in-game and in-shop stuff coming in. So look at that. I mean, glorious Dragon Boy mount. We've seen some of these data mined before, these new kind of dragon head horsey boy mounts. These actually look really, really cool. So we got a golden one here, and then we got the Thunder Hoof Celestial. This one very much reminds me of the Thunder King for sure. It's got that Thunder King colorway with the gold and the blue. Really cool looking mount, honestly. I want to see how all this moves when it's animated. Haven't seen the animated version of this just yet. But yeah, really nice looking mount. A few pets here. We have a battle pet, a nice little golden lion boy. And then a nice transmog set. So this is the ensemble of the Scorching Conqueror. Text in the Seat of Knowledge speaks of an ancient general with divine material prowess. He served Ra-Den and the Thunder King, eventually joining the Pandarian Rebellion, only to
super rare on me.
It's gonna be super rare come when people see you in this transmog, because look at this thing. This is a glorious looking transmog for sure. Really nice. I love it. Again, I want to see the animations on this thing, but this is coming out with the Lunar Festival. A nice full set transmog here. And speaking of transmog, we'll talk about the cost of transmog changing a little bit, thanks to kind of everyone's feedback here. We also have the Eye of Sauron weapon. That's not what it's called, but it definitely looks like it. Pretty cool looking weapon here. This is a polearm two-hander, so a nice looking one there. A few more pets. Yeah, people are gonna love this one. I already know. All the anime fanatics and all the little cat girls, they're gonna love this shit. Uvo, thank you for the sub, man. Death Knight of our Scourge, 11 months in a row, coming up on that year. Thank you so much. The Gilded Fountain here. So we're gonna see a bunch of housing related items too. So these are promotional items, pretty nice looking stuff, and then a ton of housing decor. So look at that. We got a fish tank. I'm assuming this thing's animated as well. A nice little bed here, and then a few throwaway rugs, different little pieces of furniture here and there. So yeah, furniture being a big part of all these events as they go forward. And wow, I'm sure throughout the year we're going to see more and more housing decor coming out with events. Sam, did you burn your mouth today? No. Why? What the hell? Besides that, transmog costs. Let's get into this because this is important. Blizzard yesterday revealed that they felt bad about transmog and the fact that they were charging you for your first transmog when in fact that transmog had already been applied before the new system came in. So you'd already paid for this transmog, and then Blizzard made you pay again to reapply it. Well, they said that everyone's going to get a free transmog when the expansion launches because they didn't think that was right. Well, they've even gone further than that now. So Blizzard now reworking the cost structure of transmogs once again. In this blue post here, they said they're going to lower the cost of outfit creation prices by 50% to bring them more in line with the prices that were in existence prior to this new transmog update. The price reduction is currently under development and should be available on the next day. Oh, so this thing might already be live here. Additionally, the free transmog that you were supposed to get once midnight went live, they're deciding just to hotfix it in. So that's right. They'll update it in a hotfix article. Once it's available, your next transmog that you apply will be for free. Because Blizzard they feel bad, man. They felt bad because they got called out on it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe they felt bad because the community made them feel bad about it. But either way, they decided to go back and kind of give a little bit of a fix, a little bit of a free token. So transmog, not only are you going to get a free one, it's going to start costing less very soon here in the coming days. So there you go. Nice little fixie boy from the Blizzard guys over there. Also, many other fixes coming in, including some fixes to some classes and a few events in the game that were kind of broken thanks to the stat squish. So let's talk about that real quick. As for characters, the XP buff Warband Mentors wasn't working properly, so the War Within set of achievements should now apply correctly to characters below level 80. They also corrected an issue with incorrect enabled legacy content scaling for characters who were leveling up in Dragonflight. As for classes, we see Death Knight, Unholy specifically, getting a bunch of little changes here. You guys could check these out, screenshot it, read through it if you want to. But it looks like their damage just wasn't properly done. And then Mages, Frostbolt being moved in their spellbook to the proper spot. As for Delves, a little fix for Bran, so his health, his experience bar, it mentions Valera. We also see dungeon and raid fixes coming in. A few bug fixes there, housing, a few lighting fixes, a few little things here and there that weren't working properly. And then this one right here is interesting, Mage Tower. With the Midnight Pre-Expansion update now live, we're adjusting enemy health in several Mage Tower challenges to bring them back towards their intended pacing and difficulty. So somebody actually mentioned this to me in-game yesterday. They were like, go do the Mage Tower now. It's way easier than it's supposed to be. You can easily complete the Mage Tower. It hadn't scaled properly once the squish happened, I guess. So people were going in and destroying Mage Tower. Thanks to some broken things in the game. Well, Blizzard obviously caught on to it, and they've increased the health of a bunch of enemies in the Mage Tower stuff. So if you didn't get in and get it done, it's probably too late now. This stuff's been retroactively fixed, so you won't be able to get that easy kill anymore. But hey, the challenge is the funnest part about Mage Tower, so going in and easily doing it kind of takes away some of the fun from it. PvP adjustments here adjusted the effectiveness of training ground opponents, so there you go. And then a few quests, a little bit of changes here. And then Transmog, they addressed an issue with Midnight Special Edition Transmog sets not being usable at lower levels, so that's been fixed as well. Dungeons also getting fixed and closed. That's right, so the Pit of Sauron, Algathar Academy, and Seat of Triumvirate, those are dungeons that are going to be made available in Season 1 at midnight. Blizzard's shutting them down. That's right, you try to do these dungeons right now in the game, you can't. Blizzard has closed them for maintenance. I've never seen this before. Kind of weird. Usually, they're doing maintenance on a back server, on the beta servers, then they go make it live. Well, evidently, these are closed live in-game. So you cannot do these dungeons anymore. They will reopen later on in 12.0.1 once that update releases. So these will be part of the rotation, but you can't do them until then. So closed for now. And add-ons. The big hot topic, guys. Everybody has been spending this entire week, the first week of pre-patch, basically just playing with their UI. That's it. Everyone's just playing with themselves all week this week. And I've actually had fun kind of configuring my UI. Yes, fun is a relative term, but I've enjoyed, playing the game without add-ons. I said this, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm raw dogging WoW. I'm going no add-ons. I've always played this game with very minimal add-ons, so it's not a huge change for me, but I'm going no add-ons. And I'm continuing to go no add-ons. The game's running more smoothly. I'm enjoying it. And the UI it's workable. Is it perfect? No, but it is workable. And Blizzard is continuing on with their add-on philosophy, kind of the removal of add-ons, the integration of things that add-ons provide into the game, so that you can play the game properly out of the box. So PC Gamer interview here with Ian Hazakostas, he gets more into the add-on stuff. In the interview, he said, add-ons have been part of the game since literally day one, since beta. He says, what we started to see about 10 years later in Warlords of Draenor was increasing bespoke add-on solutions that were designed to simplify and solve specific mechanics. We've probably let it go further than we should have, but we really just boiled down to the question of, do we want this to be WoW forever? We probably should have done something sooner, and it would have been less jarring of a transition for the community. So I agree. I mean, about that Warlords time is when weak auras really just started to become real problem-solving add-ons where they were doing mechanics for you. And then I would say it hit peak in Shadowlands. In Shadowlands, if you didn't have 37 weak auras and your stepmom sitting on your lap, you were not going to be able to do any of the bosses in that freaking raid. That raid had some of the most difficult mechanics I've ever seen, and the difficulty was really an arms race ramp-up against add-ons. Blizzard was competing with add-ons, trying to create boss fights that were still difficult. I mean, if you remember, like, the unbalance of Halandris and the way he was one-shotting people early on, that whole race to World First was a shit show. but then trying to run through it on your own, oh man, that was a difficult one. So I'm much more happy with the new design philosophies. I want to see new boss mechanics. Really, WoW has kind of integrated a bunch of swirly boys in Raid lately. That's all it's become now, is soak this and dodge this. Soak this swirly and dodge that swirly, and that's because that's something add-ons are not able to really solve for. So that's the mechanic Blizzard have gone with. But without add-ons now, Blizzard's going to give us some new mechanics, new ways to do Raid, new fights, new styles. So I'm excited to see what comes out with this, and I'm happy to play without add-ons, and happy to see what Blizzard kind of does with their own in-game shit. Sam spent an hour trying to move the chat box, the combat box yesterday. It's true, I did, and some of it's not too intuitive, right? When you're working with the UI, it's not perfect, but they keep taking feedback from people, and they're acting on the feedback very quickly. Like, they're not saying, oh, we got to wait till midnight to get this in. They're hot-fixing all these different things into the game right now. Every day you get in, the UI and the in-game shit that's replacing add-ons has gotten better. So we'll see how it goes forward, but right now I'm pretty happy with where things are going. Ian went on to say in the interview, I see discussions in the community to the effect of Blizzard is backtracking on this, Blizzard's walking back their plans. This was always the intent, to swing the pendulum to the other end and then creep it back in a measured way. Hazakostas said, our goal was never to stamp out all add-ons in the ecosystem. It was to move away from it being something that feels like it's required to be a competitive part, or a part of the competitive side of the game. And, right. So Blizzard has backtracked a lot of this stuff, and I say backtracked, meaning they're slowly allowing more and more shit in. Now, the shit they're allowing in really has to do with customizations and things like that, so it's not really combat. They're not re-allowing weak auras. What they're doing is re-allowing customization stuff. They shut the door, and they're slowly creeping it back open to allow add-ons in that really are more for aesthetic purposes that people still like and enjoy. So that's good. Like right now, you can still download, Bartender, right, for your shit, or you can use details for your damage meters. You could go get those, but I'll tell you guys, try it. Try going add-on free. Just give it a shot. It's not perfect, but I think you'll notice your frame rates and everything will go way up, and the shit they put in the game, while not perfect, it's workable. You can use it. So that's a good one. Arena Solo Shuffle still uses Gladius, though. It does, and I'm sure Blizzard's going to work a way in. They're still going through things. We'll see. Don't tell me to download or not download stuff. I'm sorry about that, Moishi. But I agree with their philosophy so far, and I think Ian, what he's saying here is, look, guys, we're not changing our plan and allowing shit that we weren't going to allow. This was always the plan. Shut the door, and then slowly let stuff back in. He went on to say again here, players are numerous and creative, and there will doubtless be some loopholes, some workarounds, and some clever solutions. We'll make adjustments to both encounters and add on API as needed to close to real time to keep things fair and to keep things fun. So what he's saying here is, we know you guys are going to fuck around. We know you guys are going to be degens when it comes to add-ons and what we allow, and you guys finding ways to work shit in to kind of get around the stuff that's not supposed to be allowed. They're keeping an eye on it, and they're live hotfixing all this shit. Yeah, no fun. That's right, no fun allowed. The fun police are on constant watch right now. And if you find a workaround, and I've been telling people this, some people have been saying, oh, this guy figured out a way to do this. All you got to do is change this setting and download this add-on, and you're going to get boss fight callouts again. What I would say to that is don't do it, because it's a temporary thing. Blizzard's not going to allow this shit to go down. They're going to keep hot-fixing things so these workarounds don't work. And right now, like for the top 1%ers out there who really just want their weak auras back, there's like 36 different things you got to do to get one thing that a weak aura used to do. So honestly, it's not worth the trouble. 99% of the player base doesn't need that shit, and Blizzard's designing the game in a way now where you don't need that shit. Finally, Ian closed out the interview here with saying, we don't view this as a one and done. We've gotten to the baseline experience here that we feel good about, but there's always room for improvement. And by that, by improvement, I'm sure he means all the changes that they're putting in. Every day, the changes we're seeing in the UI, the hotfixes, all the stuff happening with the add-on killers or the add-on integration that's happening in the game. We'll continue to see that stuff happening. So far, like I said before, the new plate bars and all that stuff, the damage meters, the callouts, there's still functionality that I want to see added into the game that I'm sure is going to get, because a lot of people are giving the same feedback that I'm giving, and they're acting on it. But for now, it's a good start. It's a good start. I like where things are going, and I'm excited for the future of WoW, Midnight, the rest of the expansion, everything else. For now, that is all in terms of news.